Really? From the moment I started the game, I immediately noticed the environment around me. I didn't like what I saw. The world looks like it was designed for the PlayStation 2 generation, as it was extremely pixelated. For a PlayStation 4 game running for full game price, it was disappointing to see Tri-Ace, the company behind the Star Ocean series, become just another corporation after our wallets. As you progress through the game, you meet Fiore Brunelli, a synergist researcher who is just. Let me just show you.
Sorry we're late.
And late you are.
Who might she be?
This is Lady Brunelli, a signaturge from Languedoc.
Lady Brunelli, is it?
Fiore Brunelli. You can just call me Fiore.
We need to wait for the Ancient Institute.
Now, don't get me wrong. I love a nice pair of breasts just like the next guy. But to have it shoved in my face constantly, making me realize that they're only there to distract me from the game's real problems. Without it, Star Ocean probably wouldn't have sold any copies. But is that really necessary? How much of my PlayStation's processor is dedicated to these physics? They could have easily improved upon other parts of this game with the processing that's being lost on titty jiggle physics. Fiore Brunelli wears a checkered black and transparent outfit with an attached leather cattail and batwing accessories and long black boots, what you might call a mini skirt, and a G-string, wearing the traditionally largely brimmed mage hat. As far as combat goes, she is your black mage equivalent, and yes, she does a lot of damage. There will be more than one time as a combatant where her spells save the day. There was one scene in particular where Fiore Brunelli's attire seemed to be more disruptive than anything else.
No! This isn't happening!
Emerson, can't you guys cure him like you did with Miki?
No, we can't.
Why not?
We have neither our ship nor the right equipment like we did before.
Go.
Dad!
Protect.
I'm so sorry you had to protect Relia for me. I'm sorry, Dad.
No, Fiddly. At times like this, you should say...
Thank you so much, Dad.
You protect me? I'm sorry. Thank you.
The voice acting is good. In fact, it's probably the only thing that shows any of the real emotions that the characters might have. Compared to the crappy animations of the characters, it was clearly the voice actor's job to show us what the characters are possibly feeling. The characters have no real animations beyond that of combat-style fighting. When you're in a cutscene or a part of the game where the characters are having any kind of discussion, they only have 4 basic types of animations to show what they're feeling. They can move their arms and legs and bend over slightly, their mouths open and close, their eyes can look around and blink, and their eyebrows can move up or down. It looks something like this. It was clearly the voice actors' jobs to pull it all together, and they did a great job.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wait a second. Did that thing just light up? Show it to me. Show me. Show me. Hey, soldier boy. What do you say to contracting with me and becoming my fourth assistant? Gotcha! What's this? The rumored weapon? Yow! This thing's gone haywire! I thought I was going to die there. You should be more careful. To make up for your negligence, why don't I have you do a bunch of work for me?
Overall, the game is a typical Final Fantasy style RPG with no real kick. You have the same combat style from previous Star Ocean titles, 3D environment to which you can run around, where you can decide whether or not to use a heavier light attack, or even use one of the many skills you find or make throughout the game. You can switch between characters at will during combat only, and use any of the same attacks or spells that you set up ahead of time for those characters. The game consists of about what feels like 100 skills, many worth trying out, but only a few will be truly useful. While when you're not controlling the other characters, during combat you can give them roles, which determine their automatic behavior as far as combat goes, which isn't truly new to the Star Ocean universe, but they do implement it in a way that seems newly refreshed, but still basically the same. You attain 7 characters in the game. Fidel, the main character, Miki, Fidel's sister, Victor, a soldier in the nation's army, Fiore, Emerson, the captain, Anne, his crew member, and Relly, the girl that needs saving. There are other side characters that will join your group temporarily throughout the game, but are not all that directly important. As you travel through the game, you will reach certain points that will allow you to interact socially with the other characters in your group. These are called private actions, and I'll come back to that later. Some of which are well-crafted dialogue, where you are given the option to form your own opinion and speak it through a multiple choice selection. But most of the dialogue is just to listen to help build on the individual characters' personalities and world lore.
So, does Miki still hate frogs as much as ever?
Miki doesn't like frogs?
When she was still a little kid, she found a frog that was this big. She tried to catch it, but it jumped up and hit her smack dab in the face. It made a sound like splork and everything. Even though she pulled it off right away, the damage had been done. Miki kept saying, "Ah, it tried to eat me." From then on, she burst into tears whenever she heard frogs croak.
Why did you have to go and tell her something like that?
Because it's something that happened?
Oh, just shut up already.
For the first couple hours of gameplay, the story is really dry and boring. I didn't truly become interested until about 6 hours in. The story feels like cliche anime directed towards those of Japanese culture, where you would typically find a young girl in trouble and immediately offer to do the right thing and help. As is in this game, you offer to help the girl find her parents and make sure no harm is done to her. But I found myself questioning many of the obstacles along the way that the characters in the game just seem to ignore. There were many times I found myself at conflict with the characters' decisions being entirely different from my own.
Savage beasts. But I'm still going. End of discussion.
See if I care.
And prepare us for transport.
Aye, aye, Captain.
Mom! Dad!
Now, the story was probably one of the game's better parts, and though I won't ruin it for you, in case you decide to go out and play it, It kept me mildly interested, and the ending was mildly satisfying. The game does come with multiple endings, which you can achieve through the private actions that you take throughout the game when you talk to your other teammates. Or you can craft certain items that help deviate the ending in the favor of your choice.
I'll just pretend I didn't hear that.
You know, while hitting on some women, I learned a lot of people think something's odd with this war.
If only you had a tail, Mr. Soldier. It'd be easier to understand you.
Ah, I see.
Yes, there is of course crafting in this game, as well as gathering for materials and side quests, most of which all feel very MMO-ish. Gathering is just walking up to a colored node and hitting the confirm button. There are no animations to individualize the difference between mining, fishing, or reading. You can, of course, use the materials you obtain both through gathering and rewards from defeating monsters to craft many of the items in the game. Crafting is simple, but also very extensive. I would say there are slightly over 1,000 recipes combined in all. There is also a specialty section in the game where you would unlock gathering, crafting, and other passive abilities, some of which are quite useful, and others useless. When you travel through the towns, you'll find these quest boards where you can accept minor quests for experience points, unlocks, and achievements. But it's a very basic quest system where you accept and turn in missions. There are no character to character interactions. Huh. What was that it? Well, alright, well, that's pretty freaking easy. Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness is a below average game. The game feels as though it was never made to be more than average. The empty parts of the world lead me to believe the maps were created before the game was even realized. The game feels as though it was made exclusively for the Eastern cultural population, completely ignoring the Western side, us. What's even worse is they sold it at the highest price of $60. When any game sells itself for the top price of $60, I expect quality compared to those of the top games out there today. Zelda, FIFA, Gears of War, Metal Gear, The Last of Us. Tri-Ace is the company behind the Star Ocean series and is a big Star Ocean fan. This next part is for them. When did money prioritize itself over creativity, innovation, fun? When did it become acceptable? When did you sell your soul? For everyone else watching, Tri-Ace has betrayed me. No. Tri-Ace has betrayed us. Star Ocean used to be a competitor to the Final Fantasy series. I give Star Ocean Integrity and Faithlessness a 4 out of 10.
Thank goodness. It's all over.
Hey there, YouTube. If you liked what I had to say or you liked my video, go ahead and leave me a thumbs up. If you didn't like what I had to say, go ahead and leave me a thumbs down. Feel free to leave a comment down below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button.